Hi all, in this video we will be discussing top 13 Java interview questions that are asked mostly on Accenture. So this video is for someone who is having 3 to 6 years of experience. So basically I will go through each and every concept and I will be giving you the theoretical answer first, and then I will be providing you the sample code so that you can directly share this kind of code to your interviewer. So if you check these readme files, so I have all these questions and with the sample code as well, and it is uh, categorized as per the difficulty level. So you can directly go through the question wise and check the details. So let's start with the video. So before going ahead with the video, I will request to please go through my different videos on the company wise preparation. So if you see this Java interview cracker, where I have shared my real time experience on the EPAM interview, Deloitte interview, and the Capgemini and the Cognizant interview, PwC. So you can go through those because that will help you to revise most of the concept. And if you have any questions, you can suggest me on the comment section. So let's get started with our first questions. So first question is very simple as per our experienced candidate, but they will be asking some more details on that questions. It means like why is string immutable in Java? So you can tell the immutability concept means like once created it cannot change the value. Then if the class is marked as final, that cannot be subclassed, means none of the class can extend this particular class. And the string is made immutable because of the string pool, so that same instead of creating different memory areas, so same string can be accessed or locate on the same address in string pool, because of thread safety and hard code caching, because of security, because like any class name or the db url, so that cannot be changed via any attack. So that kind of things you can explain, and you can explain like if you want to have the mutability concept, then you can use string buffer or the string builder depending upon your requirement. So string builder is the thread safe and it is not thread safe, and the string buffer is the thread safe and it is slower. So you can go through this sample videos as well, and sometimes they can ask like the implementation of the concat functions. So if you see this concat functions, it is returning the new object. This is one of the like trickiest question we can say. If you check this concat function implementation, and it is implementing do concat, if you click on this, here new string is being returned. So new string is being returned means where this will be storing, this will be storing in the heap memory area. So and these are the string literal. So string literal like it's a part of heap memory areas, and any kind of method call that should be there on the stack memory area. So you can go through those. Let's go to the next questions. Next question is on difference between dot equals method and the hashcode method and double equal operator. They will ask like how this equals method and hashcode methods are important in this hashmap. Or like double equals operator, it's like compare the reference, it check the same memory address or not, and dot equals it compare the content. And like for example, if we for a string, if the dot equals method is overridden, and then it's compare the character wise. And in the hash map we should be override this all this equals method as well as the hashcode method. So hashcode methods, the most important rule is that if a dot equals b is true, then a dot hashcode must be equal to the b dot hashcode, means the two key, if the content is true, then it definitely their hashcode will be also true, also be returning the same. We will be coming in a few minutes. So we will be understanding the hashcode internal working, we will be understanding the dot put method internal working. They can ask like specifically how this dot put method internal work. So here are the few sample code that you can go through. Like we have here overridden this equals method, we have overridden this hashcode method, and these are few sample code like and it's having like same if it is having the same key, then it will be having considered as an one key. You can think like that. Let's move to the next questions. Next question is on like string pool. So how does this intern and new string work? This is the most important things we missed in our first questions. So like these are like interrelated, you can say like that. So as I was saying, like string pool is a special area in the like heap memory, and new string, it's always create a new object in the heap, and outside the like pool area, you can say like heap area is there, and the heap there is small section called string pool, and outside the string pool this new object will be stored. And this intern, what it do, it manually put a string into a pool. So for example, we have one object called new string, and if we want to this is outside the memory area, right? Sorry, outside the string pool area. If we want to put that new into the string pool, so we can use the interns. We will be understanding this. So if we check this new interns, so here this new string, what it is doing, it is storing in the heap area, and in and if we do dot interns, that interns put it in the pool or return the existing, you can think like that. And one more thing is that, just a minute, one more thing is that, see, this is one of the trickiest questions. If s7 equal to hello plus hello, it's compile and combine at the compiler compile time. So if for example s1, what is the s1? S1 is the hello, it is in the pool area, and s3 s7 also hello, it is also in the same pool area, so it is returning the true. And see, one more thing is that here s8, it is like hello, it is giving us the hello, but it is in the runtime, so it is creating a new heap object. So means internally it is creating the new object. So here s1 equal to s8 is false. So this is you can reverse this concept and why it is happening, because they can sometimes ask like they want to know how you are fluent about the string pool or the string. That is one of the most asked question, not only in the Accenture, in any of the like MNC company, like they will definitely ask this. Let's move with the next questions. Before going ahead with the next questions, I request to please subscribe to the channel and like the video, and in the comment section please mention your like total year of experience, and if you want me to cover any specific company interviews questions, you can mention that company name in the comment section. So what is the difference between ArrayList and LinkedList? So instead of like giving the difference between them, you should tell like when to use what. That is like one of the expected answer as in from an experienced candidate. So first you can tell like ArrayList, if we do get index, and it is an order of one order of one complexity, and for the linked list, if we do get of index 1, it is an order of n complexity. And if you want to add or remove in an like host cache, it will be giving us order of n complexity, and in the linked list, if we do like add or remove, it will be giving order of one complexity. Means because linked list is having like a previous and next pointer, we just need to delink and relink depending upon the operation, so it will be costing order of 1. So when to use what, array list we can use in our services if we want to access the array frequently check. So you can use the get you can use the array list, so that you can within order of 1 complexity you can get the output. And we will use the linked list when we are doing frequent insert and delete, so in the front or the back, so you can use that that. And in case of the memory, like linked list uses more memory. Why it is using? Because we have the 2 extra pointer, like previous and the next pointer. They can ask like follow-up question, which is faster for iterations, linked list implement with which interfaces, you can tell like list and echo. They can also ask you like you need to implement like a linked list. That is one of the like trickiest questions. So maybe they will give you a 10 minutes 15 minutes time to implement your own linked list. So you need to understand how this list and the DQ internally implementing in the linked list. So these are the pretty much questions on the array list and the linked list. Next question is that HashMap internal working. So this is the most asked. So in every videos of mine, I am explaining this HashMap internal working. Why? Because this is every company this question is asking. And so when you watch this video, so you will revise this concept again and again. So when you use the put this value, key and value, so how it is working, this is the step by step process. So first it is getting the key dot hash code, so new the raw hash number is getting generated. We are getting the index, so index means it will point to the which bucket. So then if the bucket is empty, then store the node directly, but if that bucket already have some nodes, then the comes into the picture of dot equals method. Then it is checking that whether the particular key is returning the true is not. So a particular key is already present, then it will be returning true. Then we'll be updating the same, we'll be updating the value for that particular key. And if it is false, then we will be added a new nodes on that particular chain. And if it is chain is greater than 8, then convert to the red black tree, which gives us complexity as log n. And the size capacity, if it is greater than 75% it is used, then we will resize that. So these are the particular defaults key values key value pair. So we can go through, you can go through those as well. And there is some follow-up questions they can ask, like what if hash code is always returning 1, then difference between hash code versus HashMap versus linked HashMap versus tree map. So these are all the things I have already implemented. This you can go through those. So let's move to the next question. What is the difference between like comparable versus comparator? So comparable and the comparator are the two interfaces. So comparable, it's implemented inside the class using implements comparatable, and the method compare to is there where we are overriding this, and it's like natural or the default ordering is happening here. We'll come to the code as well. So we are using the some like collections dot sort, arrays dot sort, tree map. So these are internally using the comparable interface. And the comparator is separate a class or the lambda, not inside the entity class. So like if we want to have like multiple operation or like comparisons, so you can create a separate class and just implement this and do your own comparison. So here we are using comparator dot comparing and comparator dot comparing double. So those kind of things are there. So both of this is compare and the compare to method, both are returning negative, 0 or the positive, depending upon like which value is greater than the what value, like that. So if we see here, we are implementing the comparable and it is overriding this equals compared to method, and here only it is sorting as per the salary. But if you want to sort as per the name, how those will work, it will be not working, right? So for that we need to use the comparator. Pairing, it is sorting as per the name, and if we do here, it is sorting sorting as per the salary. And here like department wise it is sorting, then it is sorting as per the salary wise. Let's move to the next questions. Difference between checked and unchecked exceptions. So from the throwable we have like errors and the exceptions. The errors like out of memory, stack overflow, we will not catch this error. We can catch this error, but it highly recommended not to catch the error, because if it is out of memory error, stack overflow error, we will get to know that. Then the exception, we have checked exception which occur during the compile time, must handle or declare, and the runtime exceptions, it is called the unchecked exception, which is being handled by the developer. So some checked exception like input output exception, SQL exception, file not found exception, and the unchecked exception are like null pointer exceptions, array index of bound exception. This is happens because of the developer. It's represent the programming mistakes. Because of the developer, this kind of things is happening. So you can understand, like they can ask like can you catch the error? So that I was explaining, you can catch, but you should not actually do this. And how to handle the multi-caching, you need to use this operator, pipe operator, for the multiple caching. So you can check this sample code as well. Let's move to the next question. Difference between final and the finalized. So final is an keyword if it restrict the modification. So if we have if we make the variable as final, if we make the method as final, if we make the class as final, so value cannot be changes, they cannot be overridden in the subclass if that method is final, cannot be extended if the class is final. And then the finally block, it's a part of try catch finally in the exception hierarchy. So it will final block will be always be running whether it is exception occur or not. And so if so finally block is sort of, if final block is returning, then by default whatever the try catch block is written, it will be ignored and the finally block return statement will be used. So you can go through this sample code as well. Let's move to the next questions. Our next question is on like static keyword. So we can mark as a variable static, we can mark as an make as a method static, we can make as a block static, we can make the nested class as a static. So static is actually belongs to the class, not any instance. And here is the like static variable. If we make the variable as a static, the any instance will be using the same updated value. We can make the like method as a static, we can have the static block. So if we check this particular code, we have like static block, and here we have making the instance or field as in static, and here we have make the method as in static. So you can check this, here we are making the static nested class. So next questions we have on difference between abstract class and the interface. So abstract class can have both abstract and the concrete method, it can have the instance variable, it can have the constructor, but thing is that in case of the interface, it can have like only abstract method, it can have like a defaults method with body and static method as well. Here no instance variable will be created. Here the class can implement multiple interfaces, but in this abstract class, it can only extend one abstract class. So here is the like when to use what abstract class is be used when there is an easy relationship and share the code across the subclasses, and interface is happen when during the can do capabilities. So you can they can ask like follow up questions, can abstract class have constructor, and can we instantiate like abstract class or not. So you can go through those as well. So they can ask like diamond problem also in this interface questions. So let's move with the next question. Before going ahead with the next questions, if you are still watching the video, it is like very good, like you are really interested in cracking any of the company's interview. So you can mention the comment section, like if you have any issues or understanding the questions, I will try to respond as soon as possible. So next question is the like thread versus runnable. So how to, there are two different ways to create the thread, like one is the using extending the thread and one is the implementing the runnable interface. But we should prefer the runnable because Java has like single inheritance, and the runnable separate the tracks from the thread mechanism. The runnable can be reused. So these are the life cycle, they can ask like explain the thread life cycle as well, moving from new state to runnable state to running, then block and awaiting state, then the terminate state. So we should always first start the thread, then we can run. So calling the run directly instead of start, it is the one of the major mistake that everyone is doing. So they can ask like counter question, what is a daemon thread, and why is like what is the thread priority, they can explain like that. Here one way is like extending the thread, and another way is that implementing the runnable interface, and we are overriding this run method. And to create a thread, like to call a thread, we just need to get the thread and pass this runnable object and name of the thread. Let's move to the next questions. Next question is on like synchronized keyword. So what is the race conditions, they can ask like when the two thread ready and modify the same variable simultaneously, that is called the like race condition. Synchronized keyword fix this by allowing only one thread at a time. That we have like synchronized method and we have synchronized block, we have like starting synchronized. Drawback of the synchronized keyword, like it's an performance over it, like threads waits by blocking. And the alternative is that we can use volatile keyword, we can use atomic integer or the atomic boolean, we can use intent lock also. So this will be more useful and for useful for like production cases. You can check the sample codes as well, and this is where we are using synchronized block, where we are using like atomic integers. So you can go through those particular code sections as well. The next question is on like stream API. So you can explain like different like intermediate operation and the terminate operations. Intermediate operation like filter, map, reduce, collect, terminate operation are. So stream is in like pipeline of the operations on a data source. It will not modify the original collections, but can be used only once, like, and they all the intermediate operations are the lazy, and it will not run until the terminal operation is called. So some intermediate operations like filter, map, flat map, sorted, distinct, limit, and the skip. Terminal operations are like collect, for each, count, reduce, find fast. So you can go through those particular common operations as well. They can also ask like differentiate between the map and the flat map. So map is for like one-to-one transformation, and the flat map is for one-to-many transformation. So these are the one of the few sample code. So use cases of like map, use cases of the filter, and use cases of the count, sum. So collect, if you click on this any of the method, you will be getting like a lot of intermediate operations are there. So you can check this intermediate operations, terminal operations. So let's move with the next questions. Next questions is on like optional Java 8 features. So optional is used to avoid the null pointer exceptions. So like a container that may or may not hold a non-null value. So when we are not sure like whether any object or the any method is returning like null or giving us the object, so we should use like optional for that. So if we do optional dot op nullable, optional dot empty, so these are the different ways to create the optional. So if we use the dot op, so value must not be null. So it is the null pointer exception. If it is null, showing returning the null, then it will be a null pointer exception. So of nullable, it will not be showing the null pointer exception, it will be showing the empty optional. These are the different method that present on the optional. So you can go through those as well. And here the sample code I have created, where I have uses or else get, different method, or else throw. You can check this, and if present everywhere I have mentioned the comment as well, so you can check this. Next question is that Lambda functions and the functional interface. So Lambda, it's like ways to implement the functional interface. So the syntax is like we'll be having the parameters and like arrow, then the expression. So within this expression we will be having the our custom operation. So the functional interface means interface with exactly one abstract method. We need to annotate with the other functional interface, but it is not recommended, but you should use the other functional interface annotation. The default functional interface that present on the Java 8 are functions, consumer, supplier, predicates, and different things are there. You can if you have the time, you can explore those. How to explore, you can just click on any of the function interface, and if you just click on here, you will be getting the lot of function interface. You can check. So that's all with the video. So here I have covered like most common questions that was asked on the Accenture interview for the experienced developer. So if you are fresher like 0 to 3 years of experience, then these are the exact questions they will be also asking to you. But the thing is that you no need to go in details for that. You just need to go have the understanding and a little bit on the implementation part. But as an experienced developer, we should know like why we are using and how it will be affected our programs. So you can explain that, and if you have any questions, you can tell me on the comment section. So all this particular code you will be getting on the GitHub repo. I will be provided that link on the descriptions. So thank you for watching the video and all the best for your interview.